Hello everyone, welcome back. People don't understand why those people would simply make up those claims. Do you recognize that before Melania Trump there had been Ivana and Marla Maples, and you will in no way agree with the reason why Donald Trump's marriage to beauty queen Marla Maples ended. As a matter of fact, Trump's marriage to Marla was so controversial and thrilling that till date, whenever we take into account Marla, we cannot help however do not forget the surprising information on the time whilst the separation passed off. The rumors we heard were surprising in the end. After many years, Marla has showed what we thought all along, but what honestly occurred between the two, and why did their marriage simplest final for 6 years preserve, looking to discover appearance again at their dating. Do you recognize that Marla Maples entered Trump's existence and started courting him even as he turned into nevertheless married to his first wife Ivana Trump? The connection between Marla, a Georgia-born actress, model, and television persona, and Trump started out far again inside the past due 80s, and it become nothing brief of extraordinarily arguable. It changed into no longer just controversial due to the fact Donald Trump changed into married. It turned into the truth that their courting became no longer hidden. In truth, it was extraordinarily publicized, and this caught the eye of so many human beings. How should something so wrong be performed openly? Well, this went on for over 4 years. They even broke up as soon as and were given returned collectively till Trump ended up divorcing Ivana in 1990 on February 16, 1990, at the same time as Trump turned into nevertheless married to Ivana. A shocking headline seemed on the front page of the New York Post. The headline: allegedly special Marla boasting to her buddies about how the first-rate intimate family members she ever had were with Trump of Path. This threw the media right into a frenzy, and it ruled the front pages of New York City's tabloids for weeks, despite the reality that at that identical time other groundbreaking things like the launch of Nelson Mandela from prison and the financial disaster of bankers Drexel Burnham Lambert had passed off. As shocking as this sounds, this wasn't the worst. Something else equally jaw-dropping befell in December 1989 when Ivana and Marla Maples met, each different for the primary time. Apparently, Trump and his own family have been on a skiing vacation in Aspen, Colorado. However, on the same time, he had secretly arranged for Marla, his mistress, to be found in Aspen, and that was how Marla crossed paths with Ivana. In Ivana's ebook Elevating Trump, she defined in element what happened that fateful day in Aspen. She stated, "This younger blonde female approached me immediately and said, 'I'm Marla and I love your husband. Do you?' I stated, 'Get lost, I love my husband.' It changed into unladylike, but I became in surprise. Can you imagine how greatly surprised and confused Ivana have to have felt within the midst of this extremely embarrassing situation? She explained that after assembly with Marla, she knew for certain that her marriage to Trump became over, and so similar to she predicted in February 1990, about 2 months after that stumble upon, Trump formally filed for divorce from Ivana. Nicely, you will think that once Ivana became long past, Trump and Marla might live fortuitously ever after together. However, that changed into not the case due to the fact even though they were given married shortly after this, they separated simply 4 years down the road and were given divorced after extra years. Why, you might ask? Properly, Marla has ultimately unfolded about the surprising details, reasons for Marla and Trump's separation. Marla Maples and Donald Trump tied the knot in December 1993. 3 years after Trump divorced Ivana, they threw a lavish ceremony at the Plaza Hotel in New York City, which Trump owned at the time. The event became attended through over 1,000 visitors, which includes celebrities and influential figures from the Enterprise International. However, from the very starting, the wedding turned into doomed. Even though Marla has found out that their marriage suffered from issues that had been a ways beyond both their control, we've got amassed evidence that points to the fact that both Marla and Trump played energetic roles inside the destruction in their marriage. Let's wreck it down. The fact stays that so many human beings had been certainly surprised that Trump and Marla have been actually getting married mainly after his messy divorce from Ivana, which ended with a quite hefty settlement. Apparently, in the course of Ivana and Trump's divorce complaints, the Chicago Tribune mentioned that Trump had locked Ivana out of her workplace on the Plaza Hotel, and a legal battle straight away commenced over the legitimacy of the 4 prenuptial agreements they had successively negotiated over time. Now, preserve in mind that this divorce obtained worldwide publicity, generally due to the drama that had ensued among Trump, Ivana, and Marla. As a relay of reality, the front web-page insurance of the proceedings regarded in New York newspapers for 11 days in a row, and the story turned into even the challenge of gossip columnist Liz Smith's complete information insurance for 3 months at the stop of the day the divorce becomes sooner or later granted in December 1990. However, there has been a trap. Ivana had to sign a non-disclosure settlement as a condition of the divorce agreement, and she become required to always seek Trump's permission before she should speak about their failed marriage publicly. Ivana turned into additionally granted a divorce agreement that covered $14 million, a 45-room Connecticut mansion and rental within the Trump Plaza, and using Mar-a-Lago, a pricey resort owned via Trump, for 1 month a year. So whilst Trump determined to calm down with Marla of direction, he made sure that he would not need to undergo something like that. So he signed an extremely tight prenuptial agreement with Marla earlier than they proceeded with the wedding. After some years, the details of the agreement were given leaked, and it changed into found out that Trump reportedly agreed to pay Marla simply $1 million in the event that they separated within 5 years plus some other $1 million to shop for a house. It is able to seem like an awful lot. However, in assessment, his first spouse Ivana obtained greater than $25 million in cash and assets now. Right here's where matters get dicey. Some months after the couple's Plaza Hotel wedding ceremony, Marla counseled to Vanity Fair that she may also were pressured to sign the settlement contract. In her phrases, the prenup was the big struggle all alongside, and he or she best agreed to it with the belief she and her new husband could revisit the difficulty inside the destiny, but they never did. This revelation via Marla created a buzz within the media, with many speculating that the very foundation of their marriage turned into faulty. Speaking approximately the matter, a celebrity divorce legal professional advised People magazine at the time, "I cannot consider greater coercion than a lady having a toddler in her stomach and a man pronouncing to her, 'I might not marry you unless you sign what she's supposed to do.' If he exceeded her a laundry ticket, she'd likely sign it. Don't you believe you studied this agreement was sufficient to have Marla feeling some sort of way, particularly whilst it turned into obvious that Trump changed into involved approximately her being with him for his cash. This contract sincerely did a few damage to the muse of their marriage. However, that is not all the prenup information found out. Apparently, it additionally stipulated that Trump could pay infant assist for their daughter Tiffany Trump until she turned into 21 years. Antique, however, might stop if Tiffany ever became hired full-time. Join the army or join the Peace Corps. Talking approximately their daughter Tiffany. Do you understand that the beginning of Tiffany was a first-rate finding out element in Trump's choice to marry Marla? It became rapidly after Marla gave delivery to Tiffany that Trump popped the wedding query, and they were given married. Marla also claimed that it became the 1993 Long Island Railroad tragedy on December 7th that made him recompare his lifestyles and what definitely mattered to him, and that changed into while he proposed at the same time. As this seems romantic, the occasions leading up to the birth of Tiffany are far from romantic. Reputedly, when Trump discovered that Marla became pregnant with Tiffany, his first phrases have been, "Excuse me, what befell?" In an interview at the Howard Stern show, Trump spoke approximately his reaction to the being pregnant information. He stated, "I'm satisfied it occurred. I even have a great little daughter, Tiffany, but at the time it became like, excuse me, what occurred? I did not know approximately this," after which I stated, "Properly, what are we going to do about this?" It become whilst Marla said to him, "Are you extreme? It's the most beautiful day of our lives," that he subsequently responded with an unenthusiastic, "Oh, excellent. As you may already consider, this wasn't the maximum pleasant element for Marla to pay attention, and it was simply proof that at that specific second Trump probably wasn't considering kids in marriage. Whilst these are a number of the minor elements that led to the disintegrate of their marriage, there are several other main and some distance extra stunning things that ruined Marla and Trump's fortuitously ever after important elements that ended the marriage properly. Marla has truly revealed that the essential purpose why their marriage ended became due to the fact she and Trump have been extraordinary people entirely, and in some unspecified time in the future their values stopped aligning. Maintain in mind that Marla and Trump had a 17 years age hole among them and have been from absolutely one-of-a-kind backgrounds. On one hand, Trump changed into born and raised in Queens, New York, right into a rich and ambitious family. His father, Fred, was a success real property developer, and he raised Trump in an environment in which business acumen, opposition, and winning had been emphasized. Of course, this best shaped Trump's force for success and his pursuit of strength and wealth. However, Marla changed into Reddy, raised in Coata, a small rural city in Georgia, in a super modest and spiritual household. Marla was raised with values like faith, kindness, and network, and whilst as compared to Trump's materialistic and transactional attitude, they were entire opposite. The hassle wasn't pretty much their upbringing. Their differences in the end led to them having two one-of-a-kind priorities, and in line with Marla, it ruined the whole thing. She stated, "Donald and I came from absolutely exclusive worlds. I desired a companion who should honestly see me and aid me emotionally, but Donald became regularly preoccupied with his empire, his image, and his ambitions. It have become clear that we have been living parallel lives, no longer a shared one. Whilst I valued connection, authenticity, and spiritual increase, Donald's international become ruled with the aid of strength, enterprise, and a force for public achievement. The stark difference in their lifestyles, dreams become obtrusive, and it performed a huge position of their eventual separation. Trump's number one awareness at that time changed into his commercial enterprise empire, and his ambition left little room for compromise or shared pursuits. He had already skilled the demands of marriage and fatherhood together with his first spouse Ivana, and whilst he cared for his youngsters, his expert existence constantly got here first. Reputedly, this made Marla very annoyed within the marriage, and he or she regularly felt remote and misunderstood. Consistent with her, they got here to the decision of going their separate ways after years of enduring. This has In a marriage couple's hop, they can carry out the quality in each different. However, after a few years collectively, Marra stated they each realized they weren't doing that for each other. Marra and Trump separated in 1997 and their divorce became finalized in 1999. In an interview, Marra spoke in addition on why the marriage ended. She stated, "It is able to get a bit combative, as you may have imagined, because I came in with George's own family values and a strong experience of religious growth, always wanted to be the nice I can, and he came together with his tremendous capacity to see the world, make money, and get out there." While asked what she located in Trump that made her like him, she stated she fell in love because she ought to sense his vulnerability, and because of this singular factor, when they met there was an immediately connection, and it felt like that they had known each different, or like they have been family. Every other motive why Marra insists their marriage collapsed was due to the reality that despite the fact that she saw some warning symptoms, approximately their different personalities and values, she felt like she should do something to exchange him. After the divorce concluded, she found out that ladies in their 20s continually want to alternate the person they may be with and make him a little softer, and although she become like that to start with, she in the end discovered how to speak out stronger for what she believes in and express them. But this distinction in values turned into not the most effective thing that caused the cease of Trump and Marra's marriage. Something extremely arguable passed off rapidly before they separated, and rumors have it that this incident is tied to their decision to split. Rumors and controversies. There had been several rumors and controversies that also delivered gas to the fire. One of the most talked about controversies during Donald Trump and Marla Maples' marriage concerned rumors about Marra being caught with one in every of Trump's bodyguards. In 1996, reviews surfaced that a safety shield had allegedly determined Marra and a bodyguard collectively on the seaside during a ride to Mar-a-Lago, Trump's personal Florida estate. Right here's the way it came about. It turned into 4 a.m. and the seashore become abandoned while a police officer on responsibility allegedly located Marra underneath a lifeguard stand in the company of some other guy, consistent with the police incident report, which became dated April 16, 1996. The person located with her turned into recognized as a bodyguard, Spencer Wagner. Reputedly, first of all, when he became found, he advised the cop that he become on my own on the seashore, but a woman suddenly emerged from the shadows, and after questioning she identified herself as Marla Maples, Trump's spouse. As you could consider, when the tale broke, it induced Marra extremely good embarrassment. The media covered the tale extensively. It became at the front pages of various newspapers, and the trending topic for television shows of Path. Each Marra and Trump consistently denied the allegations. Marra claimed that it was a misunderstanding and she or he become certainly taking a rest room wreck at the seashore on the time the police officer showed up. The bodyguard Wagner additionally initially claimed there was no romance between him and Maples and that it turned into definitely a false impression. Now here's the part that got all people confused. 4 months after this incident, Trump fired Wagner. While the information broke, it greatly surprised all people. Human beings had been left questioning why was he fired, and changed into he truly innocent, like he had to start with claim to anyone's wonder. After he changed into fired, Wagner changed his tale. He told a tabloid newspaper he and Marra had absolutely been making out at the seashore after they had been stuck. As account of truth, his phrases have been our ardor boiled over, and we would love. However, Wagner's ex-spouse Mary Miller says in non-public conversations he constantly insisted that he by no means cheated with Marra. In truth, Miller informed Newsman that her ex-husband had advised her that Marra become definitely out of manage, and that became why they became so near. Miller also claimed that Vanner had informed her that once in a while Marlo would strive to pull him right into a bedroom inside the house, and he or she turned into aggressive. Approximately it is no longer all she said. Vanner also told her that Marra loved to celebration way an excessive amount of, and each time she came to the Florida estate she could celebration plenty. Regrettably, the entire controversy took a terrible toll on Wagner. Besides being inside the news for his affair, he claimed he become unable to discover paintings after Trump threw him out, and this left him hurt. His ex-wife Miller also claimed that the negative press and the lack of employment overwhelmed him, and on January 1, 2012 he passed away because of a substance overdose. Miller said he is just not that type of guy. He's no longer a sleazy guy, and due to the fact because of this he never genuinely recovered from the scandal. The drama did not stop there. Due to the fact the following year after the incident Trump and Marra formally separated, and 2 years later they got divorced. Rumors had it that notwithstanding her denial, Trump become reportedly furious approximately the exposure, and this caused a remarkable pressure to their marriage. It also allegedly Added to ongoing belief problems between them, those belief problems were actually worsened by means of more than a few of factors. For one, the truth that Trump and Mara started their relationship even as he was still married to his first wife Ivana Simplest precipitated problems. The media have become very curious approximately their marriage to peer if it'd stand the check of time. As you realize, beginning a relationship with a foundation of betrayal casts doubts on loyalty, and many speculated whether both Trump or Mara could definitely stay trustworthy. To every different to make subjects worse, Trump turned into recognized for his playboy recognition and frequent socializing, and due to the fact he was regularly visible with different girls, this led to regular hypothesis of extramarital affairs, which became tiring for each parties. At some point after the marriage ended, Mara largely stepped out of the highlight to awareness on raising their daughter Tiffany. She also pursued numerous tasks, which includes performing, hosting television shows, and promoting health and spirituality. Mara has spoken fondly of her role as a mom, regularly describing her relationship with Tiffany as the maximum important a part of her existence. Trump, however, continued to build his commercial enterprise empire and enlarge his emblem, and in 2005 he married Melania Neis, a Slovenian version with whom he has a son Baron. On the cease of the day, it is quite obvious that Mara and Trump's marriage ended due to an aggregate of infidelity rumors, public scrutiny, and their mismatched priorities. Why do you observe the marriage among Marla Maples and Donald Trump ended? Tell us in the remarks segment below. Don't forget to click on the subsequent video for your display. Like this video and join our channel for extra updates.